So that's what happened.
Oh, I see. Oh my, that's
How many total members are there in the Zakat committee?
Each committee at least
How many do we have like active right now?
coming or you,
In general. In general.
14, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 committee.
This is the first time I'm meeting. This is so good.
Brother Mu'min, he was coming, but something happened and he has to go to the airport, Cyprus.
Cyprus.
So he can't come.
Okay.
Yeah. And Adil, nobody replied. I called Amir and he said, I'll call you back. And he didn't call me back. I sent email to all 4 members.
Okay.
But neither replied.
Okay, so let me see. We have people coming from...
I think it's good since you're recording, they can always...
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that was the point, and actually...
We'll be the first.
yes, it's the first there.
I have 2 people who just texted me. Brother Omar told me he's running 10 minutes behind. And then...
Somebody left their belongings here, I believe?
That's probably
Maybe
Sister
Shazia?
Shazia. Yeah, you just don't mind it.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Just probably going back and forth.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Brother Omar is on his way, and then I got another number from 919.
9.
Do you know who that is?
919.
Yeah, 919-656-2033. He said I'm running a little late. My apology. I'm just going to send everybody the link just in...
The water's gotten better for now, so.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water.
There's some water now. Before that, there was nothing.
So a lot of the fast foods and those are closed.
Closed in
Their
this area.
sodas are all out.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Is it affecting only one area? Or?
Upper Kirby, this area.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming it's a whole block.
All business.
Surprisingly.
Lots of business there in that area.
It
You're in
varies.
this area as well, right? Oh.
Didn't notice.
Lots of business in that area.
And then the Champions folks should be here, Brother Ashfaq and
Oh, yes.
Okay, great.
and those folks should be here.
Great.
Cyprus, you said, is not. The Katy people were supposed to be here.
Brother,
Fuad is right
Fuad?
now.
No, more than Brother Fuad. I think some of the others were also going to come.
Maybe we should start like a WhatsApp group for the zonal
Yeah.
Zakat committee as well.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty effective. To
No,
get,
absolutely,
you know,
it is. And
emails
again,
get lost.
my goal is for the
Yes.
committee to manage that themselves, right? I
Yes.
shouldn't have to micromanage the
Right.
committee. Let them figure out what's the best date for them to meet,
Yeah.
what time. You know, they told me, some of them told me Saturday morning.
Right.
I said, okay, Saturday morning we're already meeting for a Shura meeting. That's going to start at 7.
Oh, okay.
Now, is that too early, too late? I don't know. But we're meeting for a Shura meeting. It works out to the Shura that we're there early in the morning. We're knock it out in 2 hours. By 9 o'clock we're done and we go home. So our family doesn't even realize that we were gone. So
That's pretty effective and very
Nice.
dedicated to Saturday morning at 7 a.m.
Dedication.
yeah. So the point being that not everything works for
Sure.
everyone, right?
Correct.
So my goal is for the committee to manage it themselves and you know, and let them figure out what works for them.
With your extensive experience, what do you recommend, Brother Fuad? Being as a chair, you know.
Well, I was just telling brother that I'm ready to step down. Actually,
Oh,
yes, we've had these discussions.
okay.
Right, it just
That's a newsflash for me.
okay. It's alhamdulillah. I've served like
How many years has it
30
been?
years.
How many?
So since 1992.
Oh wow. Okay.
So.
I was born in.
Long time.
I was born in 92.
So it's time for new people like yourself. You know, it's you shouldn't. You know, if you have the passion, you have the time, the dedication. You know.
should you have somebody with you on the committee?
I will let them know, inshallah. Somebody with me meaning what?
In Katy.
Like the.
There
chairperson.
are a couple of people,
Mm.
but Katie can be managed. I'm looking for someone, inshallah.
So Katie, they gave me 3 names. They gave me Noman Khuram, Muhammad Salah, and Latif Lawal.
Muhammad Salah.
Brother Reba, I've asked you, I feel so bad, I've asked you like probably 20 times for the most up-to-date zakat list.
Okay.
When is the last one you sent me, so I can search?
Look in the most up to date is in the
Because I have so many back
guide.
and
Is in
forth.
the guide.
It's in the guide? Okay.
Yes.
In the,
Yes.
okay.
So I had recently sent an email to all of the associate directors
Right.
to give me a full list. So my goal is for the committee to manage it themselves. Broadcasting live, that's why.
Interesting. Is this the first time we're doing a live meeting, or it's been done?
No, we always do. All of our
Those
Shura
are
meetings are
live?
live.
Shura
Okay.
meeting, yeah.
All of our Shura meetings are live.
On Wild Apricot.
I know they're recorded, I didn't know they were live.
They're uploaded
They're-
in the Wild Apricot.
Yeah, the links are on Wild Apricot.
Will this will be the same like the in that?
No, I'm not going to put this in Wild
Oh.
Apricot. I just emailed it to everybody so they have a copy of
Oh,
it.
I see.
But yeah, here. So this is the list. Oops.
I know there were a lot of emails back and forth, so I just want to make sure we have the very
I
current.
have to unhook and hook it one more time. So I have Woodlands, I have 2 people. Highway 3, I have 4 names. Sabreen, I have 3 names. Brother Bashir, Feroz, and Tariq. Tariq Aziz. Do you know who that is?
Maybe by face, but I don't know him personally.
Sinod, I have 3 names. Brother Noman, Iftikhar, and Mumina.
Mu'mina, yeah.
Yeah. Iftikhar is supposed to be here
Yes.
today. He told me Iftikhar
Yeah.
was going to come. Mission Ben, I have Shahul Hamid, Tawsiq Ahmed, and Umar Bitar. And then Cyprus, I have Muminul Mia, and then Ali.
There you go.
That's the list. And then Katie, I have Numan Khuram, Mohammad Salah, and Latif Lawal.
Do any of these need to be updated on Crate?
I don't know any of those in Katie. No.
Well, just the 2
Office.
we have per.
Are these from Bear Creek?
No, they're from Katie. I got them from Brother Hanif.
Brother Hanif. Okay, I need to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
And I did ask him, I said, I did not see Brother Fuad's name there. So he said, Brother Fuad is like the central
Yeah.
zakat committee. This is a
Yeah.
local zakat committee, is what he said. And then Edel Road is Amir Ismail, Nabil Sayed, Sister Munira, and Ibrahim Badal. These are the 4 names that they have there at Edel. And then Champions, this is the list that they gave me.
MashaAllah, we need all these people.
Do you think they need ISGH emails, or just leave? Because there's more than 2 in each.
I think they should use the same email that they're assigned.
Right.
Any zakat.
Just keep the
you know?
2 dedicated per
Right.
center.
Yeah, like they should use that same email.
They can share
Zakat
this.
dot whatever this
Yeah,
is.
yeah, just
Yeah.
stick to that. Any zakat or sadaqat, they should just
I
use
agree.
that email. Either it be,
Okay.
zakat chairperson, or they should just use that email.
Where's Mario?
Yes, I didn't send you the information. Yes,
Mario,
sir.
you don't have the Mario?
No, he didn't send me.
Yes, I didn't send you.
No. I did not get money.
أعطي خالص عليكم. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Okay.
Oh,
The door is locked.
the door, yeah, after 5, yeah, I just.
She put a phone.
Yeah, I sent it to Yasser.
Assalamualaikum.
Sorry, I didn't realize the traffic was bad.
Yeah.
How are you doing? How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Long time.
Assalamualaikum.
Wow.
Alaikum. Who are you?
Sit anywhere.
Yeah, you can sit anywhere. Okay. we'll start in, it's 5:45. I think we should just get started. People will trickle in.
It's on.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Brother Fuad, when
Yes.
was the last Zakat committee meeting that we did? Do you know? Yeah.
The last one? Early 2009. No, Ramadan of 2019. Right,
Ramadan of
Yes.
2019?
yes.
Okay.
Because I remember we had the meeting here and then we generated what you call it, financial statement for zakat that I recommended we share with the community. So I ended up sharing it with my community in Katy. So this is how much zakat
Zakat
brought
we've
in, this is how
collected.
much we dispersed, sadaqah as well. So mashallah, it encouraged the community to see what the efforts of the zakat in ISGH and what ISGH is doing to the community. So, so that was from
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we should get started and people will start trickling in, inshallah. Inshallah. So, Bismillah, salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, sirata allazina an'amta alayhim, wa al-maghdubi alayhim, wa al-dallin. Ameen. O Allah, please make this gathering a blessed one. Please make it a means of our success and this organization's success, and make it a means for us to help the community as much as we can. Ameen ya Rabbal Alamin. So, thank you all for coming. You know, I have confirmations from at least maybe 6 or 7 more people who will come in slowly. I think they're all probably running into traffic and things. Since I'd already called the meeting, there were a couple of brothers. So Brother Bashir, not Brother Bashir, Brother Feroz from Sabirin. He let me know yesterday that, you know, can we move the meeting to a weekend or something. But I had commitments from quite a few people that I felt like it would be not right to move it at the last minute like that. So I figured that we're going to have this first meeting, but then inshallah we'll appoint a new zakat chair. Now the Brother Fuad is talking about stepping down. Then we'll appoint a new zakat chair and then let him kind of figure out from every one of you, you know, what is the best time to meet, whether it's Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, you know, what is the best location to meet, is it here, somewhere else, however it is, and then you can have a regular, you know, either monthly meeting or bi-monthly or quarterly, whatever works best for the committee, inshallah. So, the things that we're going to cover today very quickly, we're going to do a little bit of introduction. I want to introduce myself. I want to introduce Sister Saida. Not everybody has met, you know, her. I want to introduce Brother Ibrahim and then Arif to all of you, right? Some folks you know, some folks you don't know, and things like that. So I'm going to do a quick introduction. We're going to talk about a purpose of what we're doing, you know, as a community, as a committee here. I'm going to give you some statistics about Zakah, you know, within our organization, and you know, kind of somewhat along the lines of, you said that you collected some stats, so along those lines, inshallah. And we're going to talk about some highlights from the approved Zakah policy that we recently did, and talk about you know, the compliance aspect of things. We're going to talk about some community dynamics, you know, meeting frequency, things like that. That'll more be you guys talking more about it, and then in the end we'll close with some questions and concerns, inshallah. So hopefully this is not going to take too long, and so that we have enough time for questions and talk about concerns, inshallah. So, quick introduction. I want to introduce myself first. My name is Faizan Atiq. I was recently elected as the treasurer of the organization. Zakah is one of those areas that kind of falls under the treasurer. And coming in, one of my first things was to make sure that we had an approved Zakah policy. It looks like we had an old policy that we've been following, or a playbook, or
We
something.
updated it last year, I believe.
The Zakah policy?
Yes.
Okay. So at the end of last year, I know that the last treasurer was trying to get our zakat policy approved. So we had, it came for approval in November. We tried to, approve it in December, but then I think everybody realized that there's a new administration coming in. So let them, go through it, give them an opportunity. What I did was in January, at the beginning of January, I sent it out to all zakat committee members. I sent it out to all the associate directors, and I sent it out to all the directors. I made sure they all had a copy of it, that they got a chance to read it. I even sent it to people who are not elected members to get their input, just community members here and there who help, work in different areas. For example, in Southwest, I sent it to Brother Marfani. I sent it to Kamal. Some of those brothers who complain about, ISGH did not do this, ISGH did not do that.
No.
I haven't seen that, the one.
I didn't receive that.
It was sent to
Mariam.
everyone, I don't know. The same list, did you get the invite for this or no? You did not get the invite?
I did.
Because he has his, he's using his email.
Personal email?
Right.
Maybe that might be. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about today, right? The use of personal versus the ISGH email. But I'll send you a copy right now, and we can take a look at that also. But the goal again my goal was to make sure it's as inclusive as possible, that everybody has a chance to read it, everybody has a chance to question any portion of it, or make amendments to it, or make adjustments to it or something, and then before we approve it as a shura. So it was sent at the beginning of January. First week of February is when we approved the policy, and now March 1st is where we want to try to enforce it. So it is not something that we're trying to rush. We took a month for everybody to do that, then we took a month after it was approved to make sure that everybody understands what was approved, and now inshallah we're going to enforce it a little bit. And we'll talk about what the enforcement means also. So that's, that is where I'm coming in to kind of kickstart this committee and just make sure that we are in a rhythm of meeting regularly and things like that, inshallah. Sister Sarah, you want to introduce
Sure.
yourself?
Welcome. I think I've met most of you except for you two. I'm the comptroller. Basically, I'm working on all the financial reporting, internal structures with Zakat. That's the fund, making sure we're reporting it per center location. And, you guys would be a big help in that implementation as well. So if you guys ever have any questions on financials, I will be the one to reach out to.
Yeah. Arif?
Yes, Assalamualaikum. My name is Arid. I'm the Financial Assistance Associate here at the main center, and essentially I'm a liaison with the Zakat committees and here at the main center. So ensuring all the requests that we receive and create are there, so we can have those processed in order to meet in a timely manner.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
And then Brother Ibrahim?
You all know me, so now with my position just overseeing the Sadaqah and Zakah and communicate with the centers and hopefully to smooth the process, make it better, assist the people as needed, and make it efficient for everybody, inshallah.
Inshallah. And I'll talk a little bit more about Brother Ibrahim's position also when there are a few more people here. Inshallah, I'll talk about that. Why am I saying thank you right now at the beginning? So the reason I'm saying thank you is thank you to all of you, right? I mean, you guys do a huge service to the community. What you do in your centers, dealing with the people who are in need of assistance, and who you're dealing on a day-to-day basis. You're having to sometimes take out time on weekends, on weekdays, phone calls, things like that. I know everybody has their own way of doing these things. Every masjid has their own schedule of doing these things, but nonetheless, you're all volunteers and you're doing it for the sake of Allah. And so for that, I want to say thank you and commend you for the work that you do. It's an amana from the community, right? An amana from that we're custodians of their money, and it is important that we use it to the best of our ability and make the best judgment call when we do that. Whether we say yes to somebody or we say no to somebody, right? Both of those are completely valid if we feel that we have the valid or necessary reasoning behind it, inshallah. So for that, I want to say thank you at the beginning. So like I said, the Zakah Committee is one of the most crucial committees of ISGH. You deal with the largest amount of disbursement, you know, from a financial perspective for our organization as ISGH. Is the door open?
Yeah, I left it open.
You left
For
it
the
open.
con.
Good, yeah. So you deal with the most amount of money that we're doing, and you know, so that's why I put a few stats down there. I don't know if you realized in 2019 we paid $918,000 in rent across our zakah.
Is it in 1 year?
Is it what?
You said 1 year? You said
1
1
year.
year.
1 year, 2019.
2019, okay.
2019 we paid almost $1 million, that is, in rent only,
Just the rent.
just the rent,
Mhm.
right? On an average we pay about $100,000 in rent for zakah. The last few months it's gone up to 100,000. This is all of 2019 was 918,
Mhm.
but then the last few months it's actually gone up a little bit, so it's roughly about $100,000 in rent. We pay about $25,000 per month in food card costs, right? So the food cards that we're associating with everyone, $25,000. Roughly $30,000 every month in utilities.
I see.
Assalamu alaikum.
السلام ورحمة الله كيف الحال؟
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم.
Keep it right.
Brother Omar, is your number 919?
No.
No, that's somebody else. Okay. Somebody texted me from a 919 number. I'm trying to figure out. So just kind of continuing, Brother Omar, we were just talking about some of the.
I was following on YouTube.
You were? Okay, good. Mashallah. That's awesome. See, it works.
Oh, sure.
It works. So yeah, so it's, you know, it's a large amount of money. I mean, basically what I'm trying to do with these stats is to tell you that, mashallah, this committee deals with a huge amount of money. And we wanted to deal with even more than that. You know, inshallah, we hope that the community sees the value in their money being used the right way by ISGH, and you know, they continue to donate more so we can help more people and more committee members. Our goal is never to reduce the number of people that we're helping, right? Our goal is to help the most needy and as many as we can. And so that's why I put there. But my goal is to have, you know, to be sure that we have an engaged zakah committee, right? That when we're sending emails or texts and things, you know, let's make sure that we're talking amongst each other. We're discussing issues. You know, if you have an issue in Sinat, I'm sure the same issue might exist in Maryam, in Katie, in Hamza, wherever all of the same issues exist. So I want to make sure that we are talking amongst each other. And you know, Sister Sarah, you have the idea of maybe creating a WhatsApp group just for all
Yes.
the Zakah committee members. Inshallah, maybe that is something that we should do, where we do that soon, and to get that going, inshallah. Here's just some statistics I put together, right? This is an idea of what our zakah account looks like over the last 6 months. So this is from August 19 to January 2020. You know, August 19, our zakah account had $140,000 in it. This is the balance, right, of the fund balance. And you know, you see over time it just basically reduces. Now this is very typical, so it's not a bad thing that it reduces over time. It is very typical because we get the most zakah during Ramadan, and then throughout the year it just kind of goes down a little bit. And then Ramadan comes, it replenishes again, and then it kind of goes down the rest of the year. Right? Is that your experience also?
That is definitely the
Yeah.
experience.
So we should not be alarmed by looking at that you know, it's kind of declining. But what we do need to know is that you know, it is a finite amount that we're dealing with, right? And it is a depleting amount that we're dealing with. And you don't want to deplete it to the point where, you know, we are in the red or something. So again, I'm not insinuating that you're not using the money wisely, but we have to be very wise with the disbursements that we're doing, and make sure that we're doing it, you know, to the best of our abilities, inshallah. The two other, you know, lines here that you see, this is our income. So the income coming into the account is, I'm sorry, when I said this was the amount is actually right here. The fund balance was about $1 million in August, which is right after Ramadan, so that's why it was so high. Right now it's a little under $600,000, or a little over $500,000 actually. So that's where the fund balance is. But then if you look at our income in August was about $60,000, went down to less than 40. This is monthly income that we get into this account, people paying their zakat every month, right? It went up in December, so typically what we see in December is that people want to get rid of some of their zakah and everything else to be able to take care of their tax benefits that they can. So that's why you see this uptick in December, and then because they've paid so much zakah in December, you'll see a big decline in January,
Major decline there.
right? So that's why you see a big decline. But this is our income and this is our expense up here.
So expense is more than the income?
Expense is more than the
Always.
income.
More than
Always.
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 So-
And that's why you're seeing this declining balance here.
Yeah.
So that's why do we have limitations of the zakat or limitations?
Limitations in terms
Limitation like, we do like, me and Oman was sitting and was doing, okay, we paid the last year like 25,000, and then we reduced for like 20,000 something. So we're reducing those one, that mean we have a limitations or?
of... No, we're not putting any limits on anybody to say, okay, you got to reduce or not. But if there is a need, we want to stay within the bounds of what we are considering basically our guidelines, right? So if we're saying there's a max for a family member that we have to, then we'll try to stay within that maximum. Now, if that doesn't mean that is the maximum and we can't give anything more than that.
Right.
If there is a really need, if the family really is in need, then yes, we can escalate that and get a higher amount approved for them, right? Again, the goal is to use that as wisely as possible. That's that's the best I can say. I don't want to say that we are trying to save money or not save money.
MashaAllah, I don't see anything alarming from looking at this. I mean, you've got about 500,000 left in the account,
Right.
roughly, and Ramadan is in a couple of months. So,
Well, Ramadan we have some other things too, other donations come, right?
You're talking about the fitra, but the fitra has its own.
Right, zakat is going
Yeah,
to be
it
separate.
has its
It's
own
different.
too.
It doesn't come from that fund, right?
No,
so
I don't think so, does it?
Is it what?
The fitra,
Fitra
zakat
is
The same
It's
account?
different.
No, it's a separate
It's a
account.
different
It's a
account.
whole separate account.
Right.
Zakat al-Fitr is different account.
Yeah.
So
Zakat is separate and fitra is different plus sadaqah is different,
Different.
right?
Yes.
It's different.
Very separate.
Because sometimes what happens, we do from the sadaqah, But last year, 2019, we say, we might have a low fund in the zakat, so we do it from the sadaqah,
Yeah. So on an average, we spend roughly about $140,000 every month in zakat
Right.
total. And so if we have roughly 500,000 now,
Right.
then we're probably going to get through another 300,000 right by then. So hopefully we'll still have 200,000 cushion within the zakah account by the time Ramadan comes in, and then we'll get more zakah inshallah, and hopefully we'll continue from there. So like you said, it's nothing alarming at the moment. Completely, I agree with you. Alhamdulillah, it's not there. However, there's always more. There's need more, right? The need keeps on increasing.
absolutely.
As we have more community members coming in, as we have more people coming in and things like that, the need keeps increasing. And we're one of the other things that we also did, I think we've done it in the last couple of months. I think some of the masajid who have excess sadaqah, we've actually started using their sadaqah accounts and not using the zakah accounts. So for example, Champions Masjid, they have excess sadaqah in their accounts, and so rather than tapping into the zakah account, they've been giving out all of their financial assistance from their sadaqah, so that they can use some of their sadaqah. Otherwise their sadaqah keeps piling up.
But Brother Fuad is holding on his sadaqah.
Inside that.
Typically, if somebody needs continuous help, I go through the zakat account. But if somebody needs a one-time help, that's when I use the sadaqah.
That's what we do.
Yeah. So when they come in, this month my job I didn't get, and I need my rent $1,000, $1,200. That's why I tap into the sadaqah account. If somebody needs, for 6 months, a year, 500 every month, that's when I go to the zakat.
Zakat, yeah.
Okay, so that's what that is. This is again, I'm going to send this to you. This is just so you have an idea of what the last 6 months looked like. I put it out there. But I wanted to talk about the new policy, and I wanted to talk about some of the highlights in there. all documents that, need to be uploaded prior to approval. This is something that, I'm really gonna be making sure that we all comply by. It's important. One of the challenges we run into is that whenever we're looking through some of these older, older cases and things and everything, we don't see enough documentation, right? And this is really important for us to be able to.
So can I make one quick comment about this first bullet?
Yeah,
Instead of saying all documents, I'll just say documents, or appropriate documents.
appropriate document.
Appropriate documents. Somebody comes in asking for a food card for $100. They say all documents, that means I have to upload their lease, their rent, their lease agreement.
Okay.
It doesn't apply. I mean, okay, so just the appropriate documents. Somebody's asking for food, $100, maybe your income,
Right.
or your expenses. But
What are you asking when they want food cards? Right now,